Okay, I'm here at the end of College Green. There's a bit of media symbol. It's very dark. So yes, I will try to do a little leafleting and shout some of my slogans. This is going to wear my leaflet. This is my account. So campaign for government sanctioned by the authority, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities.
I was like 6 down by Delaware.
Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for government sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. I think I'm going to move over to the other side now. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for the sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to move to the House of Parliament. It's very quiet here. Campaign for the sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for the sanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives.
Like 5-10 seconds.
Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. 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 Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Can you see? Okay. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Nei posso gripe? No. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities.
What do you think today?
Well, he's under appeal in this country, other countries, being targeted with a 24-day campaign for harassment. They may happen for a very trivial reason, like people complain to my local council or denounce.
Dude, I don't trust any of them. They're all fucking traitors, man.
Or denouncing some area practice law. What's happening actually is happening to a lot of people in other countries. We keep in touch and we all think the same identical things. We actually believe that it's more than some isolated incidents. We believe it's some kind of social engineering program.
Dude, the whole thing is.
I have plenty of that.
The whole thing is, man. Everything is controlled, and this city has cameras on every street. You're being watched right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But so we believe it's actually some social engineering program for aim of creating an extra layer of social control.
We're already controlled, man. We got the credit cards and everything. We're controlled in every way.
They're probably going to take it to the next step, the next level, basically.
You think another level?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're doing to us.
Yeah. But I need to get to train, but thank you.
Okay,
I will come back and talk one day.
Thank you. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying. Can I pass a leaflet? Is okay. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives.
Where the points of the words are, but I remember that.
Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroy innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroy innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned. Can I pass it, please? Alright. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned by the authorities. Can I pass the leaflet? Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives.
Para bağlandığında ben aylık bu parayı alacağım. Ondan ayrı vereceğim.
Campaign for unsanctioned authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for unsanctioned authorities. Campaign for sanctuary the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Can you pass a leaflet?
I've got one. No, I've had one already.
Okay. Yeah, you know, there is, you know, 100 people in this country, 1,000 in the United States, 1,000 in France and Germany. We are being subjected to a 24/7 campaign for us. Innocent people, we believe actually, it may be for very trivial reasons like we are being complained to my local council, denouncing some illegal practice at work. There is really quite a lot of us. We communicate online, we organize things locally. We believe it's like, because we are all saying the same identical thing, we believe it's actually more than the sum of separated incidents. We believe that it's some kind of social engineering program whereby they try to use harassment as a new layer of social control.
I've done a lot of that anyway.
Yeah, well,
years ago they thought they were going to have to microchip people, but they've realised they've managed to brainwash them through media and stuff anyway.
They're doing both.
Well, yeah, but they thought they'd have to do a full microchip program.
Yes.
They didn't. They now have realised everyone's gone already.
Yeah.
They've got everyone.
Yeah. No,
They can do fake Hoka taxes and people think they're real.
Yeah,
And I know it's bullshit. I know it's bullshit.
Yeah. But
studied
you know, the bottom line is people are being enslaved slowly. So you know
quickly,
the story.
no, quickly.
Well, you know the story of the frog.
They thought that was going to take longer as well.
You know about boiling a frog. You know the story about boiling a frog.
Yeah.
If you put a frog in a pan, you heat the water quite slowly.
Yeah.
The frog, it didn't realize the danger. It stayed there because it's quite nice. By the time it realizes the danger, it becomes paralyzed. It can no longer jump out the pan. So it's the story of the boiling frog. So they're doing it quite slowly, and people are being like enslaved psychologically, politically, economically. And then you can see we have in this country 5 million of people working family in poverty, in abject poverty.
Oh, working, yeah. I mean, that's the main poverty now. People, you know, working class in jobs they're almost in more poverty than the people that haven't got jobs. Because you might have somebody that hasn't got a job, but he's living in a council house. But the guy that's working has to pay 1,400 rent. It's actually, it's all gone twisted.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so much going on.
They started in the 60s, 70s, they start moving on. Most of the manufacturing job overseas to Southeast Asia. Then they've been decimating public services. They've been, cutting. Freezing people wages, cutting people wages, decimating benefit.
Where are you from originally? You're from?
I'm from Italy, but I've been in this country for 30 years now.
I'm gonna live in Serbia in 2 years.
Okay.
I come and go from Serbia, Montenegro, but I'm
if you look at the general picture, people are really genuinely being enslaved. Now,
I know.
For instance, you can look at different things. You can look at all the social networks. They've been collecting quite sensitive information about people for years. And now they're censoring everybody.
I know.
But the thing like is that
I've got to go. I've been standing doing a job.
Did I give you a okay?
I enjoyed chatting with you.
Thank you. Okay, bye. Campaign for sanctuary authorities. Campaign for sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctuary authorities. Campaign for sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctuary authorities. Campaign for sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. What's happening?
Can't read it. No one can see it.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing my best.
No good. You can't see it.
Can you read it?
No, it's too dark.
It's
Come back in the daytime.
It's dark. Can I go take a leaflet?
You get no thanks. What's it about? What's it about?
It's 100 people in this country and in the United States, in France and Germany, being subjected to a 24-day campaign of harassment sometimes for fairly trivial reasons, like people complaining to my local council or denouncing someone.
You compare it to Syria, to Africa, to these horrendous places. This country's fantastic. It's not perfect, and there are people that are disenfranchised. But you go where it's a real need.
It's happening in many countries. It's not about a single country.
But it's relative. Some are better than others.
No, but I think, it's happening in the United States, it's happening in this country, it's happening in France and Germany,
Are you a British citizen?
I am an Italian citizen. I've been living here for 30 years.
So why are you getting worked up about the UK?
No, it's not about the UK. As I explained several times, it's happening in this country, in the United States, in many European countries.
All over the world, but relatively we're much better here, mate.
Well, there is something specific to Western countries.
You can stand here and make these statements.
But there is something, what I'm talking about is something that is quite specific to Western countries. And then there is a horrific thing happening in developing countries, there is a horrific thing happening in China, even in Russia.
What's specific to Western countries? Surveillance.
No, they have this program of deliberate planned harassment targeting innocent people, basically. And
who's targeting them?
I think it's a network of rogue agencies working together. And
what sort of innocent people? What for? Who are they after?
It can happen for people for complaining to local council for very trivial reason, for denouncing some illegal practice at work.
I used to work for the council. I don't think that happens.
Well,
but you'll have a few corrupt councillors, of course you will. But it doesn't happen en masse.
It's increasing. The number of people, the number of people coming forward and saying, "Oh, it's happening to me too," is increasing every day. In the United States, this country,
if you want to make an impact, get a better sign. You can't see it.
I know. I do it again. Why don't you have a look later?
No, don't worry.
Oh, okay. But we think actually because
what you need to do is have a big sign on your website, just big letters, and then people will remember it and they'll look it up. What's your name?
Paolo.
I love Italy.
Okay.
It's a corrupt place. It's a beautiful country.
Okay. You sure you don't want to?
I've got Italian friends.
Okay.
Well, if it makes you feel happier.
You may find it interesting quite a lot of information. You may find it interesting. There is quite a lot of information.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Paolo.
Thank you. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities. Campaign for sanctions by the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Is under innocent people in this country, in the United States, in all European countries, being subjected to a 24/7 campaign, constant harassment. People can get singled out for very trivial reasons, like people complain too much to local council, or people denouncing some unethical practice at work. There is quite a lot of us. There is actually every day more people coming forward and say it's happening to me too. We keep in touch through the internet, even through different countries, and we organize things locally occasionally. Recently we had a meeting, a friend meeting out in Houston, and but we believe, because we are all saying the same identical thing. It may be completely off the radar of the mainstream information or mainstream media, but if you go looking on the internet with certain searches, you will see there is a huge amount of website, activism, site blogs, all made by us, by the victim of this kind of activities. Now because we are all saying the same identical thing, we believe that it's more like, like a local council gone rogue and doing strange things to people. Or we believe it's actually some kind of, I know it may sound crazy to you, but we believe it's a kind of social engineering program whereby they're experimenting with using harassment as a new layer of social control and social manipulation. I know it may sound crazy, but there is no acknowledgement of what's happening to us, even though
what's happening?
A constant harassment of totally innocent people, getting their life completely destroyed.
About what?
Well, about the fact that we believe that these basically used as guinea pigs. They, I know when it comes to this point, people may think it may sound totally crazy to you, but because there is so many of us online who say the same identical thing, we don't. Also, another thing is people move around, like say people from the United States come to live in Europe or vice versa. These things seem to follow people around. So. Even though it's totally acknowledged, you will find very difficult to find politicians or people
guinea pigs for what? Guinea pigs for what?
Yeah, for what we believe is kind of social engineering program, whereby relying on harassment and different form of extrajudicial punishment, like mobbing people at work, making people lose their job, then also sometimes even driving people out of their homes through harassment, making people destitute. So the harassment, a various form of extrajudicial punishment, destroying the life of people basically. There is, we believe, is an extra layer of they're building tentatively. Starting to build an extra layer of social control. We see that some of the technology they're using against us, they're being already rolled out against whistleblowers, against certain political activists, against members of the public. If you cause problem for the corporative state, you may wake up one day and find a kind of strange thing happening to you. If you talk to political activists, everyone has some kind of strange story to tell about strange thing happening to them. We're not entirely sure if they happen by accident or if they happen by design. But still, we can see in our community that some of the technique and technology being used against us, they're already being rolled out cautiously because they don't want to, to start at the ship. They don't want to start at the ship, but cautiously against the political activists, the whistleblowers, etc. But we believe, because we see what's happening to us, we compare experiences, and we believe that actually it's not just the sum of isolated incidents whereby, someone may, draw some malevolent attention in his local community or something. We can see that there is, it's like we are used as guinea pig in a social engineering program.
What's an example?
Well, for example, if you look at, not if you're familiar what's happening to Julian Assange at the moment, but some of the things they're doing to him, like to make his life completely unbearable, possibly, arguably to try to draw him out of the embassy. I think there is the same, some of the same technique and technology they're using against us.
But what's an example of one of those techniques?
Well, harassing people, mobbing people at work, harassing...
No, mobbing Julian Assange, but they can't get in the front door. They would like to, but they can't get in the front door, right?
Well, I'll make an example. For instance, the night before, that was, I think, it's 2012, the night before we were going to find out if Ecuador was going to grant asylum to Julian. At any time they did, and actually the following day there was the Ecuadorian foreign minister came to London, a guy called Ricardo Patino. He met with Julian, and then they made the announcement that 2012 that Ecuador was granting asylum. The night before, the police outside the embassy, they were spending the entire night doing drills, running up and down the fire stairs outside Julian window. So they greatly upsetting Julian, greatly upsetting all the people in the embassy. For instance, what we believe did happen at the time, it's a part of this underhand tactic and totally legal. But what we believe happened at the time, they were trying to put pressure on the Ecuadorian government. The message was, if you are to grant asylum, we are going to start the embassy, humiliate you publicly as a country.
But is there an example more recently?
They didn't do. Well,
maybe on someone less high profile.
Yeah, I mean, there's this lady, Melanie Shaw, which was living in the north of England, and she was denouncing, around Nottingham, I think, and she was denouncing, because she was raised in a home, and she quite early on, she was blowing the whistle about pedophilia, sexual abuse of children in a specific home. So in the beginning, there was all the other people saying the same identical thing at the time, actually. So in the beginning, they were pretending to be willing to investigate, but then increasingly, she was starting to get harassed, discriminated. Intent, I think, is very strange what happened, because she was dragged in front of some kind of kangaroo court and she was sent to prison. And basically, it was being completely impossible for supporters or friends to find out what she was being charged with, the length of the sentence. So basically, she was disappeared. And now it seems that and then she was in prison. She was subjected to all kind of custom strip search and all kind of things. And now she seems to be slowly losing a reason. So it's all part of the same. It's all part of the same picture, basically. But if you want, then you can see many things happening. If you look at some kind of common denominator, some kind of thread running through all the different events, I believe that the thing I'm talking about, they are somewhat specific to the West. And then obviously you may say horrible things that happen in China, horrible things happening in other developing countries. It was true, but the thing they are specifically talking about are mainly located or specific to Western countries, the United States, Europe, Canada, or Australia, New Zealand. There is a lot of victims in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the United States, thousands of times in the United States. What we believe is happening in the West, if you look at the West, is a slow process of it may sound excessive to you, but enslaving the people, enslaving them financially, economically, psychologically, politically. And you can start, can have a look at, I think it's done very deliberately. If you start looking back at the 60s and 70s, when they start moving, relocating of I would say quite a large portion of all the manufacturing jobs to Southeast Asia. So they starting opening up the economy, and then they be resorting to all kind of gimmicks to rebalance the economy. But once to have a balanced economy, you need to have a large, at least a substantial section of manufacturing jobs. They are gone, they are coming back. So they all have a large section of the economy. Then we see first, starting in the 60s, 70s, they start dismantling the welfare dash benefit system, the running down public services, freezing people's wages, cutting people's wages, forcing loan on people they knew they couldn't possibly afford. Now in this country, many students they left university with 50,000 pounds in debt. So forcing on people mortgages they knew they couldn't possibly afford to repay. And then you have this okay, you can look at different things. You can look at these social networks. They've been collecting a lot of sensitive information on people, and now they basically start censoring people. The main thing is, I think, the main thing about this is not so much the fact that people can get,
I guess the question is, if it's 60 years, haven't they moved past the point of it being guinea pigs?
I think there is,
that's a long time.
We have already to a substantial level of enslavement of the population, but you know the story of the boiling frog?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know the story of the boiling frog? Yeah. That's the way it's been done, because if they start making sudden changes to the benefit system, suddenly they may get a kind of reaction from the people. But the way it's done in France, you see, you had more, the fact that in France at the moment you get quite a violent reaction, because they do it in a clumsy way. But in this country they're more clever. They do it more gradually. They try things out. They see if they work, if people accept them. In France, they're very clumsy in what they do in increasing the hardship of the population. And then they get a reaction. In this country, the same thing happens, but it's done more clearly, more slowly. So that's why they don't get as much as the reaction as you get in France, for instance. But we have already a substantial level of enslavement of the population, because you have up to 5 million people in this country, working family living in poverty. Yep. You have a lot of people working, and then what's happening, you have this kind of dynamic whereby people are so busy surviving that their living conditions are constantly, the quality of life is constantly getting worse and worse, that they have such a pressure on surviving, with paying their debt, feeding their children, and that they, in a way, that they don't have even the energy to understand what is being done to them, or to sit back and to have a look and say, oh, this is quite unacceptable. But because they're constantly under pressure, repaying their debt, or dealing with the benefit system, or putting under the pressure constantly by the benefit system, with the investment trading, the stuff that in a way they deprive of the ability to look at what's been done to them and to say, oh God, this is quite unacceptable, I need to do something about it. But because of the constant pressure, so it is enslavement.
Are you talking about Europe then? If you mentioned France,
I think this is what I'm talking about. Is it's quite specific to West. This kind of slow enslavement of the population. I think.
I mean, just because you're aware that most people in France are in favour of Europe.
Are in favour of Europe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to go into that, but I don't want to go into Brexit because it's quite marginal, peripheral to what I'm saying. But I think that what I'm describing, this low enslavement of the population is specific to Western countries. And then you can look at, you can easily look at China and say horrible things are happening in China. Yeah, it's true. You can look at developing countries, even worse, the most horrible, more horrible things are happening there. Absolutely. But I live in the West, so I am most concerned about. So I mean, you can talk about all that, which is all true. But I would like to focus on something which is quite specific of Western countries.
Yeah.
You see how
they're more subtle about it.
How the population is being genuinely enslaved. Because if you look, for instance, at social network, what I think is. To understand, people feel that there is a malaise going on because, until recently people were able to express themselves fairly freely on social network, and now there is almost, it's not so much censor, but the way I think what is quite central to the whole thing is an atmosphere of fear, because people have been prosecuted for what stuff they've been posting online. People have been quite a lot of people have been losing their jobs or their family even. Then after losing the job, they lose their family. So I mean, there is an atmosphere of fear almost. And so it's not just the question of a few accounts being deleted or people being confined to some kind of digital death. I think there is increasing a widespread fear, but most people, I think, they kind of are at the receiving end of this stuff, but they don't know, probably they don't fully understand yet what is happening, because they start to feel a bit uneasy about social network accounts. They know that in the past they've been posting a lot of sensitive information there, and now they're quite afraid to post anything more, because they think, oh, maybe they can, I may end up in trouble, I may lose my account. So that they have this malaise, but if people don't really realize that they've been completely bamboozled by this operation.
What do you think about the recent GDPR stuff?
Which one?
The GDPR?
What is it?
The General Data Protection Registry.
Oh, well, I think in a way there is people making an effort to exert more control and, about data. I think it's a waste of time, because they were doing this stuff since from the beginning of World War II. They had a bit more kind of primitive kind of the Fire Eyes, the Fire Eyes country. They had slightly like echelon and stuff. They've been collecting a infusion center. And now we start to talk about fusion centers, but I believe they've been existing since the end of World War II. In a more primitive kind of way. I think they've become more sophisticated, but I think they've been collecting a spy on people since the end of World War II with total abandonment. The only limitation they had at the time was technical limitation, because they were not, they still, at the time they didn't have the technical sophistication to do it the way they're doing now. But I mean, people talk about, there is safeguards, and then you hear the story where they tell you that for decades they've been spying on people with total abandonment, with no restraint whatsoever.
Well, I need to go, I'm afraid.
Okay, did I give you one? Okay, thank you. Campagna parlando sanctioned the authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campagna parlando sanctioned the authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities, destroying innocent lives. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. Campaign for the sanctuary authorities. So yeah, I tried to today. I've been here in around Westminster for a while. I tried to just instead of just having a snippet at the beginning of my session and attend or something, and I tried to. I don't know if this thing is working out basically, but I tried to actually broadcast live the entire session, a conversation with people. The danger there is that I don't know if the visual was right, so people probably they were able to hear me quite right, but I don't know if the picture was maybe obscure because of, the positions, the phone, etc. So I don't know if this thing has been working out. So actually I'm quite anxious to go back and check the quality of the recording, etc. So it's a first. So I try to broadcast live the entire session. I don't know if this thing worked out. I'm pretty sure people could hear what I was saying and my slogan, etc. I'm not sure if the visual or the image were quite right. So I'm going to stop now. I'm quite anxious to go back and to check the quality of the video. Yes, so I'm going to stop now.